Hi, my name is Sarah Cuellar, and I'm in Cuadros Corner.
Cuadros Corner is a podcast whose purpose is to bring connection within the local community of the Rio Grande Valley, a digital networking landscape to meet people through their stories of passion, business, desires, triumphs, and obstacles. Check out the podcast description to connect with guests through their links, and thank you for listening to Cuadros Corner. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and comment. Thank you for coming to Cuadros Corner, Sarah Cuellar. Just so that people get a lot of value from your story, can you please introduce yourself and tell us who would mostly benefit from hearing from your story?
Ooh, that's a very good question. We're starting off strong. Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah Cuellar. I am 20 years old. I am a cosplayer, model, and actress. And I would say people that are just trying to find themselves in maybe a fashion sense or identity, because, I would never think I'd be a model, to be honest. Back in middle school, I never thought I was pretty. I was just so, insecure. And then I had to grow to love the way I look. And that was a lot of trial and error, figuring out like styles and just experimenting with what I like to do. I'm very artsy. I love painting, and I loved game shows like Face Off. And then I got into America's Next Top Model during COVID. And those are inspirations. And, you just find it through people such as celebrities or your family members, friends, anybody you look up to. I hope maybe one of you guys are watching, and I just hope that you guys take some inspo, and I'm here to answer any questions and just kind of go through my experiences in hopes to help yours as well.
Perfect. I love that. So you were mentioning that you are creative and a fashion model.
Thank you.
So can you tell us a little bit of what made you wear what you're wearing?
I just woke up like this. So, good question. I actually did not know what to wear. I was like, what kind of vibe should I bring? Should I go for like casual and comfy? Should I go like playful and dolly, which is like something that I go for in my photo shoots? Mm-hmm. Or should I just be chill and just kind of do something but with a pop of color? I think all those boxes were checked. Were checked? Yeah. I hope so. And I knew like this wonderful place was going to have so much color. I was like, oh man, maybe I should like do a contrast of like a dark color with brighter colors. So this is the fit. Have you ever seen that movie Charlie's Angels, the modern one with Cameron Diaz? Oh no, Drew Barrymore. Y'all don't judge me. No, it's okay. I haven't seen a lot of movies, but there's this scene where they're wearing like black turtlenecks, and you're giving me that Lucy Liu vibe from that outfit. Yeah. You should check out that movie. It's really cool. I really should. Yeah. Demi Moore comes out. She's like the villain. I think it's like 2003. But anyways, I felt a lot of like 2000s. Yeah. You got the spikes in my hair and like the pants and this. Yeah, 2000s vibe is what I'm getting. Like envisioning. Yeah. Yeah. So you're a model, actress. You also like to do arts and crafts. You like to work with your hands a lot. When did this begin for you to kind of like form like your craft around this? Because when we're growing up, obviously, we finger paint and we are able to experience all these types of cool things like acting and theater through school. I feel like everyone has that experience for the most part. But when did you say like, I like this, I want to keep learning more? And how has that evolved
now?
Okay.
I would like to quickly interrupt to talk to you about our sponsor, Backdoor Modern Vintage. It's a creative hub which features different backgrounds for photography, video, or podcasting. Located at 907 West Business 83, Weslaco, Texas, you can also find a variety of props for your projects and an assortment of wardrobe to rent or buy as well. Backdoor Modern Vintage, located at 907 West Business 83, Weslaco, Texas. You can make an appointment by texting or calling 956-619-3830. Backdoor Modern Vintage.
I always knew that acting, and maybe not so much modeling, but acting was definitely a passion of mine. Back when I was like 8, 9 years old, I remember telling my parents that I want to do what those people do. And it was on Disney Channel. And my parents, were very supportive, and they took me to a casting call. Turns out it was a scam.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but I mean, it's one of those Facebook things where it's like, hey, audition for this, get on Disney Channel. Don't trust those guys. I'm saving you.
Yeah.
And I remember crying. I was like, oh, I want this so bad. And, my parents didn't have a better way to tell me that it was a scam at 8 years old. So, but growing up, I was like, oh yeah, thank God. It would have been so much money wasted and time. But then from there, I decided to do UIL, which is academic competitions, also curricular activities throughout school. Big thing in Texas, yeehaw.
Yes.
And from there, there's this category called oral reading, poetry, prose. That's, I believe that's what it was called.
Yeah.
And it helped me get out of my shell, actually do what I like to do.
Yeah.
And then eventually I got to middle school and did the same thing with UIO. And then high school, it unfortunately decreased. I was in an early college high school, and we didn't have theater. Aww. So yeah, we didn't have theater. So I stopped that. And then just during COVID, I felt like that's when the modeling came in. I got inspired by many things, like the America's Next Top Model. Loved that show. I was all sick, and I was just like...
I love the show.
Yeah. And poses like JoJo Bizarre Adventure anime.
Nice.
And my grandma was my big inspiration. We'll get into that.
Shout out to grandma.
Shout out to grandma up in heaven.
Shout out.
And yeah, and as I was just after high school, mostly my senior year, I was like, you know what? I do want to try modeling. And that's how that happened. I have a very good friend that was starting to take pictures. So it was good to get some digitals and just kind of used what I learned,
And for those that might not know, what are digitals?
Digitals are basically your measurements of your body, like your waist, your height.
So kind of like your calling card.
Right. And then you give that to, auditions, casting calls. And it's basically like your business card. Like, hey, if you want me to be a part of your brand, contact me. It has your contact information. So if you are thinking of modeling, that is very important. Another tip, which is commonly known to models, is how you're going to dress. This is good. Any tight fitted, also with your pants, black skinny jeans, just to kind of show, your shape. And maybe small heels, natural makeup. Don't ever wear heavy makeup, not even at a casting call. They need to see your natural beauty. So yeah, that's how I basically kind of started. Now it was transitioning to like what kind of modeling I want to do. But during that period, I was like, you know what? I want to try acting again, you know? So in adulthood, I've been trying to find opportunities, and I'm very fortunate for the opportunities that I've gotten so far to, you know, just rebuild the craft and learn from other people. And I think that's the most important thing you can do is learn from others. So yeah, there's so many talented people here in the Valley that's just, they've been a big inspiration as well, and the friends that I've made.
And I know a couple weeks ago you posted something in your story about like, I don't remember exactly what you put, but like, hey, if you got anything to tell me, let me know. And I messaged you that I admired your playfulness, your candor for being like thinking outside the box. How do you think having those attributes help you not only in your creative projects, but like outside of those creative projects? How does that help you in certain scenarios throughout life?
I think it's very important to grow as a person. I mean, we all go through, you know, our things. There's going to be challenges in our lives that it's either out of our control. How can we help ourselves? How can we help situations? But I think overall, knowing that you've done your best has to be the best, like, conclusion, you know? And also, it costs nothing to be kind, really. Like, I believe, like, doing good deeds, no matter how small, is the most impactful thing you can do. Grows your character, makes you feel good about yourself. You never know that that person might have needed a smile that day. Just even asking, like, how they are. Because you never know what's going on in anybody's lives. And I definitely feel like growing your character has to be one of the most beautiful thing and the best business card you can give to other people.
Yeah, I agree, because I feel like when someone is, for example, very proud of who they are, like very happy of who they are, it shows. Like you could just see it in people's faces. And when people are surrounded with that energy, with that vibe, it influences you. It influences the people around you, and they want to know like more. Like they're like who are you? Like,
Right.
Why are you the way that you are? Not that they're gonna say that, but I feel like that's like some of the thoughts that brew in our minds. So I agree with what you're saying, and
yeah, you only have 7 seconds to make an impression on somebody. So
7.
yeah, wow. So make sure it's good, guys.
Wow. I don't know that. 7 seconds. Wow. Okay.
I think it's 7 seconds, 10 seconds.
Well,
You're giving people the benefit of the doubt, maybe seconds.
Yeah. I'm going to have like a countdown. Like,
Just,
is that enough?
Okay. Meeting a new person and go.
Yeah. So now let's talk a little bit about this really cool community that you're part of. And I feel like you've been one of the most consistent members of this community called Let's Stay Creative, created by Audrey Barrera, our good friend. I feel like that has been a community that has, in a way, helped people break out of their shell. Do you agree with that? Or what has been your experience in this creative community? And what is Let's Stay Creative for those that are like, what is he talking about?
Okay, so, you know, when you want to do something, it's the question, well, how do I start? That's like the biggest, question. Like, who could I talk to? Is there any events? So I found Let's Stay Creative through Instagram. And I was like, what is this? And then looking into it, it's meetup for models, photographers, and anybody who owns a business, videographers. It really branches out to creatives. That's why it's called Let's Stay Creative. And I was 18 when I went to my first meetup. And that was like my time to like meet others.
That was around the same time you were like, I want to do more acting, right?
Yeah, about that time frame. So I went. It was amazing, and I absolutely loved it. And the people that were there for like my first time going to that event are still my friends now. And you just, you learn about people, you learn about their ideas, their aspirations, and then you just kind of, it's inspiring. It's really inspiring. So yeah, I recommend, like, if you want to get out there and you want to talk to other people and just kind of get inspired, I definitely recommend Let's Stay Creative. It's a fun time.
Yeah.
Go follow their Instagram.
And one highlight that I want to do is that, for the most part, there's themes in every event. And, people tend to go and show up with the theme, whether it's like an outfit. But I feel like you go all out. You go like at another level. Like, tell me about your thought process. Like, what goes through your mind? Like, how do you come up with all these? And I would not say elaborate, because they're not like elaborate. They're like simple, but yet effective. Like that fishbowl with the flowers. That was like, whoa, that's different. Like, how do you, like, when someone puts out, like when Let's Stay Creative puts out the theme, like, how do you go about like thinking about deciding what you're going to do for that theme?
So I think the best way to answer that question is the type of modeling I like to do. So I like a lot of editorial, surrealism, storytelling. And it's like, when I first started, I was thinking, like, what am I going to bring to the table for this one? I knew that these themes people were going to follow them, of course. But I was like, but I want to stand out, Like, I want to be that person you're like, I want to take a picture of you,
And you accomplished that.
Oh, thank you. And, like, I like putting my own twist to the theme, like we had the roller skating one, and that one you can branch out to a lot of styles, but I was like, you know what? I kind of want to do like disco 70s. Let me do pops of color. Like, let me wear this dress that it completely blinds everybody.
Right.
And yeah, it's effective. Like, just the littlest item you could put on your outfit or just something to your makeup, it grabs people's attention. So people want to take a picture of it, So, yeah, like that's what I like to do at Let's Stay Creative. Just really, when I hear the theme, I'm like, okay, what am I going to bring to this one?
Yeah.
That's always the thought. And I'm in my car sometimes, or I'm asleep, or I wake up and I'm like, I got it.
You like doze off and don't think about it, and then it comes to you.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, I know.
Nice.
I know what I'm going to do.
And also, you recently came out, you were using your acting chops in a music video. Do you mind talking about that? And what was the experience in creating that music video?
Yeah. So the band is called PopularLon3r. Go check them out on their Facebook and YouTube. And Instagram. And I was lucky enough to get reached out. Is that yeah?
Yeah. You're being humble, but you were one of the main protagonists.
Oh, yeah. So I was like, did I word that correctly? I don't know. I get nervous, guys. So
the love interest, would you say? Because the guy's following you and like kind of like trying to win you back.
Yeah. So shout out to my brother Caleb. So I got reached out by a casting director by the name of Ruby. Hi, Ruby. And
Shout out Ruby.
Shout out Ruby. And she texted me the morning of. She's like, hey, there's this opportunity if you're down for it. It's to play a lead for PopularLon3r's new music video. That's not all the time that you guys are going to get an opportunity to play a lead, you know? And I was like, you know what? Yeah. So, you know, you take that opportunity, you know, and see where that goes. You never know who's watching, y'all. You never know. And I went on set. It was pretty cool. And me and my friend Caleb were having the best time. We're like, we're a couple. Oh, okay. Yeah.
He was like trying to find you, and then he like found someone else that looked like you, or like from the back, and they're like, oh, that's not you.
I know, like, oops. And I'm over here like recording behind the scenes. And no, it was really fun. Like any like acting gig you can get, you're getting experience every time. You know, that includes like a short film that I did called Morals. That's on YouTube. And
we're going to link it in the description so people can check it out.
And Find Me on Amazon Prime. I was a background character.
Oh.
Yeah. I was behind the police tape and I was just like, And that was it.
Nice.
Convincing acting, guys.
Oh. Hey, but for that music video, I was very impressed with because, you know, there was no dialogue. It was all like just emotion in your face. And you seriously looked like Caleb broke your heart. And you just looked like you were over it. And it was like very powerful. So I applaud you for that performance.
Oh, thank you.
Because there's no audio. I mean, there's no dialogue. It's just your face. So it was just like a couple seconds where you're walking in and you're just like, you know what, this guy's, or I don't know what your thought was, but so it was very good.
Thank you. This was funny, but me and Caleb were like, what should we argue about in the truck? And we were just arguing about chicken wings from Wingstop.
Wow.
Yeah. Like what was the best fries? And I was like, Wingstop is the best fries. And we just kept going back and forth. And then we just thought it was like funny. Like we're just arguing about that. And then just other words were just being thrown out just to kind of make it more realistic.
Yeah. You got to try Golden Chick. I don't know if you have.
Ooh, I do like Golden Chick.
That's good too.
Sponsored? No, I'm kidding.
Let me ask you right now, when you mentioned Ruby and how she like called you that same day and she was like, hey, you want to do this? You know, there's this phrase that's like, it's not what you know, it's who you know. How do you go about building those relationships?
You honestly got to start somewhere, like no matter how small, because again, you don't know who's watching. You don't know who you're talking to. That person might know others or have like ideas in mind. They're like, hey, like I would like you for my project, you know? And it's just building those relationships. And eventually you're helping each other. And I think that's the most important thing you can do when it comes to this industry is helping each other.
So if there's any casting directors watching or even Ruby, like what type of projects are you most interested in doing and what excites you?
I want to see like what else I could do, because I'm still learning about myself and I don't think I'm ever going to stop learning about myself. So, like, let's see how far I could take my emotion. That music video really, I got good feedback on it. Yeah. Like, wow, it looks like Caleb really broke your heart. Like, I'm like, well, I do know a thing or two about heartbreak. So, I mean, using your own experiences, there's different types of acting. Beware of method acting, y'all. I don't recommend it because you're using your real life experiences to get a natural reaction on camera. It's not the safest option. Yeah, it does look really good on screen, though. I will be honest. But I balanced, like, I want to learn how to balance that out and then just, yeah, seeing that music video, I really saw the most of my emotions. In Morals, which is a short film I did, I played as an AI, so I just sounded like Siri. Like, I have no emotion. What is emotion?
Wow, a robot. Wow.
A robot.
I gotta watch this now.
Yeah. What? You haven't seen it?
No.
Carlos, what?
I'm sorry. So there's this class that I took, an acting class a couple years ago, and let me know if this kind of makes sense from your experience. But what really attracted me about this exercise with this coach was that before we even started the class, we had to like get in a circle, and we had to like, the teacher said, we have to lose our ego, because, for example, like we had to like be silly and kind of like be playful. So that's why I was telling you that I admire your playfulness, your candor, because like for me, it's very difficult to like let go of that because of my ego. And we would do like little exercises where we would be silly and yell different things. And by the end of it, we were all loose and flexible, you know, with everything we were going to do. Do you have like some sort of method similar to that, or do you just like get into character like that?
That is a very interesting exercise. I think I need to
Yes,
try that.
it was, because it forced you to be silly in front of like 10 people that you didn't even know. So to me, it was like, there's more to acting than just like what people see on screen. It helps you kind of like unblock these barriers in your mind that you have about yourself. You're like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be silly in front of people. I'm not going to be dancing. Like, what the heck? But that's just your ego talking. And I feel like that was a very helpful exercise for me to just be in that mood of like, okay, let's do it. Let's create. Let's. But I'm assuming you don't have that problem.
So I've been told that I get in and out of character pretty quickly. Like, I cried and I'm like, okay, did we get the shot? Was that good? You know? But I mean, to get there, you know, listening to music helps, really does. Thinking about some things, maybe like the happiest moment, you know, you can play with that into your acting. I'm sorry, what was the question?
No, like how do you get into character? What's your mindset? But you said you listen to music.
Yeah, I do. I love listening to music, love looking at photos. I live on nostalgia. Like I do. I like that's pretty much like how I will get into character, and maybe like understanding the character I'm playing. Because at the end of the day, this is somebody that's someone written. And again, using the music video as an example, this is a girlfriend that is having an argument with her boyfriend.
About fries.
About fries. So, you know, just that's the way that they wanted that character, and you need to do your best. It's like, I was gonna try to do a metaphor, but I don't think it was gonna work.
Try?
I can try.
There's no right or wrong here.
There is an artist that is painting a picture. Now you make an interpretation about it. So that makes sense. I don't know.
Explain it.
Okay, yeah, that did not. So like the artist would be like the writer. They're making these characters up for you to play, and you are looking at this artwork and you're like, this is what it means to me. This is what it's telling me, because in reality, everybody's going to play a character different. Yeah. You know, everybody's different.
That's true. I don't know if you answered the question a couple questions back. You were saying that you want to exercise as much of your emotion as possible, but is there like one specific project that you're like, I would like to be like that character who has this problem, or like this is going on in their life? Is there like one thing that's like popping out where you're like, I would love to explore that?
Have you guys ever ran out to a field and just you just wanted to scream? Probably that.
Oh, okay.
Probably that,
So desperation.
Yeah, like built up emotion that you can't, it's hard to express yourself on it. That's why there's rage rooms.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've seen those.
Yeah, I've never been to one. I really want to. I think those are really cool. But then I'd feel bad for
the stuff.
Yeah.
The broken. It's okay. It's meant to be destroyed.
It's meant to be destroyed.
You're helping recycle.
Yeah, there you go. Beneficial.
Yeah.
But, there's so many emotions, I like to do a lot of my acting through my modeling, Now I want to bring that on a screen, because with my modeling, I make my emotions into art.
Yeah.
I feel something so strong about it. I always have my own meaning, but to someone else, it might mean another thing. So a good example was I had a photo shoot where I, one of those like facial sheet masks that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I wore that. Didn't want to waste the product. It was a good product. And I dried it out. And then I put my makeup on top of it and put fake lashes on it, lipstick.
Yeah.
So,
it kind of looked like a creepy, like double take. Yeah. But I don't know if that was your interpretation.
It's I got like a leather face kind of thing. Yes. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
And the meaning of that one was like feeling like you're a burden. I know that's a little heavy topic, but heartbreak and being a burden. So I'm making those emotions into something that, I guess speak to myself, speak to other people, because I have the vision. And I think putting my own emotions into my stuff, it makes me stand out, and it might make someone else feel something different. Like I've gotten feedback on that photo shoot and say, hey, this kind of reminds me of like insecurity or like putting a mask all the time.
Yeah.
And it makes me happy to hear this kind of feedback because it's making you feel something.
Yeah.
Even though it's not what I envisioned for myself, but I have my own definition.
Of course.
But I'm glad that it's bringing out these new definitions to other people. And I think that's how we all kind of look at art. It might mean one thing for you, but different to somebody else. And if it's making them feel something, I think I accomplished like what I was doing. So
do you think that has been your favorite photo shoot based on people's reactions?
Going back to my photo shoots.
Like the amount of feedback that you've gotten is what I mean, I guess.
That one had to... Okay, that's not the craziest photo shoot I've done. Okay.
It was like underwater with a cage and sharks. Is that the craziest one?
Yeah, did you guys see that one? So
you're probably like, that's not a bad idea.
Like, write that down. Man, I'm like, okay. So the fishbowl that you're mentioning.
Yes.
That one I titled, and my titles are very important because that is literally my description for that type of emotion.
Spoken like an artist.
Yeah. It's my own metaphor.
Yes.
It's my own metaphor. That fishbowl, that one was called Suffocating Kindness.
Oh, wow.
And I had these white roses inside of this fishbowl. And that one is about showing kindness to people that do not deserve your time. I'm not gonna...
So not fighting fire with fire, but like fighting fire with kindness.
Right. Like there's only so much you can give to a person that either they take advantage, big one, and just knowing when to give your kindness and your time to the right people. I felt, I've gone through where I felt like I was giving kindness to people who don't value me, you know? And when I recognized it, it made me feel like a strong emotion. I'm like, what could I do? It's like my other way of coping, in other words. What could I do to showcase this kind of emotion?
Yeah, you had the urge to create.
Yeah. Like white is a color of purity, innocence. Rose is maybe delicate, has thorns, trying to protect itself. And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
That fishbowl just kind of, I couldn't breathe in there. Literally.
Yeah, that's what it looked like when I first saw it. I was like, is she okay? That was my first reaction. My first reaction was, is she okay?
Is she okay?
Second was like, that's pretty cool.
Well, thank you. And yes, I wasn't okay. I needed to breathe. But it was kind of like the suffocation, like it's crowding you, you know? And those roses were they represent just like so much you can give, you know? But you got to keep it to yourself in a way and use it wisely so you don't get hurt.
Yeah. I like that.
So yeah, those thorns really meant something. And then just, you know, the suffocation of it, you know, like you got to be mindful of who should be in your life and the ones who don't want to be, you know, and it's what you thought, you know. I don't know if that makes sense.
I think what I'm getting from what you just said is like whenever you experience something where you realize like, oh, that person didn't value me, or regardless of what it is, when you make that realization of like, hey, I learned something and I'm going to change my attitude for the better, I feel like that adds a palette to your creativity. Does it for you?
Definitely. It's my own creative freedom, you know? Again, it's my way of coping. I want to take what I'm feeling and just kind of, you know, it's like an itch. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like, I know how I could showcase this. And I do take inspiration from like Pinterest, other people, TikTokers, Instagram, and I try to tweak it just to make it my own. And that's where like, you know, you face your challenges in life and you want to do something about it. You know, you want to do something for yourself. It's a form of self-care, I believe, like something that you can look back on and be like, yeah, I was going through this, but I grew from it. And that's what I want people to see my photo shoots, you know, like a story.
Yeah, like what happened to Sarah that she's doing that?
What's
I wonder what happened.
Somebody check up on her.
No, I think that's cool. Like, yeah, whenever something happens, you just get that itch to want to showcase it. Talking about showcasing, we're obviously here. Well, maybe not obviously because we're in a new background today. But we're here in Backdoor Modern Vintage, and you actually participated in a fashion show not too long ago where it was a theme of like France, right? And you know, everything you've been telling me about like using modeling as a avenue of showcasing your emotion, your acting, I definitely got that confident vibe. Like when you came walking, you had like a really cool looking dress that had volume, and you had like a cool looking hat, and you were like in character. Like you were really in character. Talk to me about that experience of working with Yvette and using this place to model.
So, shout out to Yvette. I like, I'm trying to think of a way to.
No, just like walk me through the experience of like coming here and talking to Yvette about like what wardrobe you're gonna wear, like what goes through your mind when you are like getting ready to come out and you see the music playing, you hear the music playing, you see it was like maybe 50 people here. Like what's going through your mind? I know it might not be like New York Fashion Week or whatever, but
Like,
I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
pretend I'm in New York. I'm
but, you
Emily
know,
in Paris.
you're literally in that same type of environment where you're about to put yourself out there, being the, you know, everyone's taking pictures, everyone's looking at you, everyone has their camera on you. Like what's going through your mind? Like walk us through that.
So I was lucky to get the creative freedom for the first walk because I wore 2 outfits. And I saw that dress. And there was just something different about it. The way it was shaped, the way that it was just unusual. And I was just like, this one's it. And yeah, I mean, like, I haven't done runway in a while. So then that was like hey, okay, let's do this, you know? Got the opportunity to.
Yeah.
So let's do it. And I'm trying to think.
No, you can think. I would just wanted to add that there was about maybe like 20 models, something like that.
About, yeah.
So the way that it was set up is someone would come out, they would do their thing, and then when they reached a certain point, someone else would come out. So there was like a lot of stuff going on. It was like an actual, you know, runway in New York. Everyone knew their time. So it was kind of like cool seeing that because I was like front seat. But yeah, just the way that you used your hands when you stopped. What was the movement? You did something like that? Or?
I don't know what I did. I
don't know, but you did something like that. Yeah, that really added to the character. Because everyone else, you know, shout out to everyone who participated, they did a great job. They would like, you know, stand in the position and they would like model. But you not only did that, but you added your movement to your hands. Like you used your hands to express. Like it really added to the outfit a lot. So when you said that you use acting in your modeling, I was like, now I see it because I remember you did that.
I use my like body language, like, you know, that one I felt very classy, like
You're like Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah. And I mean, if you look at the mannequins around the store and like any store, there's some interesting poses that they're doing to model their clothes.
That's right.
So what if I became one of those? So, I mean, it just adds more. It gives people something new to look at. Like, oh, interesting. Why does she do that?
Yeah.
You know? And I'm not good at runway. It's not my like cup of tea. It was nice. I've done quite a few. Photo shoots are my main thing, but I'm naturally an anxious person. I get super nervous and
sorry.
Oh no. But fake it until you make it, guys.
That's
like,
right.
You know, people are like, wow, she's so confident. I'm like, no. I'm like,
yeah,
no.
I mean, I didn't think you were nervous at all. You seem pretty confident there.
Oh, thank you. And that's acting.
There you go. Do you want to talk a little bit about the way that you create like arts and crafts? Like I saw a picture you posted where you painted your shoes and it made it look like a cartoon, comic book strip type of look and feel. Like I feel like you're creative like all around. How is that? Is that like something that you're very interested in, or is that something that you just do every so often?
I like to like do arts and crafts. I do.
Yeah.
Because being a cosplayer, it inspires me to make some props.
Yeah, talk about that.
Oh yeah. That's
guess
right. I'm a
that's-
cosplayer. No.
Yeah, I guess that's I don't know what to call it, but like, yeah, cosplaying.
So,
Can you tell? I don't know.
yeah. Wait, no.
Trick question.
Oh no.
Nah, that's kidding. Go.
So cosplaying does help with like making your own props, painting. I stated that I like to paint. And I love video games. I love anime. And with video games, I was super into The Walking Dead by Telltale Games.
Oh.
Just kind of the art style. It's like a comic book.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love that game. Like it's a survival, yet you make your own decisions and see where that kind of leads you. I love those types of games.
Yeah.
I'm always watching gameplays on YouTube. Like
Nice. Yeah. A Dog's Life. Have you played that game?
A Dog's Life.
You just play a dog?
Really?
Yes.
I know there's one about a cat.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure there's about different animals, but that was like one of the games where I was like, this is fun. You're actually, the villain was like the dog catcher. But you literally like, would just like walk around
just
the
a dog?
country as a dog. And I was like, that's cool.
Oh, that is pretty cool. Like,
yeah.
wonder what it's like. Dog Simulator. There. It
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
So yeah, like I love video games. So I remember just like I had these old Converse looking shoes. They weren't Converse. But I was like, you know what? I kind of want to make it look like that, you know? So I got a marker and I was like,
Yeah, you kind of like added
lines
shadings.
to make it,
Yeah.
to make it more comic book.
That was really cool. Cool.
Thank you. So yeah, like video games. Another form of acting I really want to do now that you said like, oh, what's another project you'd like to do? Going back to that, I would love to be a voice actor.
Ooh, I love it. One of my favorite video games, now that you're mentioning that, I would also like to do voice acting in case any Grand Theft Auto person is hearing. Like, I don't know if you ever played that game, but like you could be like walking on it's like an open world video game. You could be like walking by the sidewalk and you pass somebody and they're just like having a conversation about, you know, something that happened in their life. It could be like random or even like the radio station. Like,
Yeah.
You know, there's a bunch of like different actors in that video game. Like that would be cool.
Like voice acting. And especially like in Grand Theft Auto when you bump into somebody, they're like,
Hey, watch out.
what that? Yeah.
I'm going to call the cops. What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
You know, just crazy things like that.
Yeah. See, like voice acting for video games, anime, animation. I love animation. Love it. And like I would love to experiment with that. I like to sing, so I would like to like branch out in like what range could I get my speaking voice to for a character. Impersonations are tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are hard. What type of singing do you like to do?
I love jazz. I'm an alto, so I sing in a lower key. I can't sing high. I do like to sing. Not the best at it, y'all. Don't.
But karaoke is good, right?
Oh yeah. But yeah, like Frank Sinatra,
Ooh.
Amy Winehouse,
Okay.
kind of thing.
I feel like people need to hear this now.
Oh dear.
Maybe next time.
Go follow me at Sincerely Sarah on Insta. I'm sure it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Here.
All your information is going to be tagged.
And then just go to the reel. I have some reels there of me singing.
Nice.
So enjoy.
Nice. That's so cool. Like, I feel like you are a little bit of everywhere when it comes to your creativity, which I think is good because, like, as someone who likes making podcasts, like sometimes I enjoy doing other types of art because it inspires me to do what I'm doing. And I feel like you being involved in all these types of different types of art is going to help you to get inspiration for everything.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I mean, you just branch out, you know, there's so much that you can do with creativity itself. You know, it could be a form of singing, dancing, acting, modeling, maybe a hobby you like. And literally, like, it's your own creative freedom and expression. And it's good to get, you know, creative once in a while. You know, it jogs your brain. It's good for you guys.
Yeah. Before I kind of like transition into one of the final questions, is there anything that's on your chest, any message that you would like to give out to people that might be watching or listening? Anything on your mind that you just want to let out?
So this is going to be 2 hours now. I'd say, like, if you are thinking of getting yourself out there and, like, wondering, can I do this? Should I? I'm here to tell you, if you're listening, yes, you can. You can. Get out there. Social media helps. And just be yourself, honestly. Like, that is the best advice. I know it's probably overused advice, but I feel like being yourself really gets you to where you want to be as an individual and, like, with your kind of people. You can do absolutely anything you want to do, you know? Getting yourself out there and making those connections and keep practicing what you're doing. You're never going to stop learning. And, you know, being in a small town, like, we're here in the Valley, y'all. We need more recognition here, you know? And we have great, talented people that get the recognition they deserve here in the Valley. But I think the Valley needs to be showcased a lot more, you know? Like, there is so many creative people here. And yeah, like, I'm here to tell you that you can do it. You really can. And if you're thinking of modeling or acting, I want to bring this up because I think this is very important advice that I think everybody should know, regardless of, like, you know, those things. That please be careful out there, you know, protect yourself.
Always take someone with you.
Always take somebody with you. Again, networking through social media, it's going to be a lot of people you don't know, you know? So it's good to
share your location.
Yes, share your location. Tell your family or friends where you're going. Bring somebody with you. Please tell the person that you are meeting, like, is it okay if I bring somebody? Because their response is going to be very important. If they say no,
red flag,
don't do it. They say yes, great, okay? And if that person has mutuals, please ask, you know, those mutuals, like, what is your review about this person? Like, what can you tell me? I feel like I wanted to mention that because I think that's very important, because even though, like, I can sit here and say, like, oh, you should go do it, you can do it. But hang on, like, I want you guys to be careful and look out for these red flags. And just kind of, you know, keep yourself safe. And I think this is great advice to give other people who are thinking this as well. Like, I want to get into this, you know, and you're going to be in, like, different locations. Make sure it is a public area, maybe the first time you guys are meeting. That's very important. So just to, you know, keep yourself safe. Yeah.
That's good advice. One thing that I wanted to piggyback on that is that the Valley, like you were saying, I feel like there's so many people that are creative and passionate about. I feel like everyone has, like, a day job, but then they also practice their passion on the side. And like you were saying, I feel like more people need to know about the Valley. So my question is, there's this phrase that's very popular down here, and it goes like this: Puro 956. What what does that mean to you? That phrase, like how does that resonate with you?
Pride. Yeah, and like we're so close to the border, and I think that it's that pride. We're a small town, so let's make the most of it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's people here, that like.
And I would even say it's a collection of small towns, which makes it bigger.
Which makes it bigger.
Together is better.
The bigger the community.
Yeah, so. Like the phrase community over competition.
Yes, that's a very big one.
Because I feel like, and I went through this when I was young and trying to learn and be like, I'm going to show what I can do. I feel like, again, that ego, I feel like when we take away that ego and say like, I'm going to do something that's cool and show everyone what I can do, I feel like that is not the right way. It should be more like, I'm going to show everyone what I can do, and hopefully I can get some feedback and learn from others and improve and get better.
Yes. Yeah. Y'all better take that constructive criticism. That's only going to make you better. Going back to like the Valley.
Puro 956.
Puro 956. Our culture plays a big part. Like how I mentioned, like we're close to the border. We have a beautiful Mexican culture, and I find cultures in general just beautiful because there's things you can learn from it. Fashion plays a big part in like our culture, dancing, singing.
7 seconds, remember?
7 seconds. So, yeah, like there's different types of people everywhere. Take the time to learn about them. That could help inspire you. And honestly, just make the most of it.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to come all the way over here and to talk to us a little bit about you. Is there any closing statements for people that are watching? What do you want them to do after they listen to this podcast?
How are you guys doing? Did anybody ask you that today? I hope you guys are having a great day, morning, afternoon, whenever you guys are watching this. Take it easy. Take it easy. Take care of yourself. If you guys are thinking about a new hobby to get into, or, like modeling or cosplay, acting, I mean, do it now.
Right now.
Right now. Like, turn this off and go.
Hey, that's good advice, because if you don't do it now,
go do it now.
They should just go on Instagram and make a story and be like, hey, I'm making a story, and then tag you.
There you go. I did it. I was an inspiration.
There you go. Nice.
But yeah, you guys take it easy out there. Take care of yourself. And I hope that I explained everything.
You did.
Thank you.
And very detailed.
Thank you.
Yes.
I hope I explained everything thoroughly.
And if you didn't, people can reach out.
Yeah, if you guys want to ask me any questions, I'm very happy to answer them. My Instagram will be linked here. Just DM me anything you're curious about, questions about the industry, or maybe you want to teach me a few things. I could always learn, getting better at the craft. I want to get better at the craft. So if you guys just want to give me any feedback, please let me know. And yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
So earlier you were mentioning who was my inspiration or inspirations. And I did mention my grandma, and I do want to talk about her because she is the biggest inspiration in my life. She passed away back in 2020. And she just, man, that woman was a beauty, you know. She was on the cover of a magazine that I forgot to bring, but that whole magazine is in Spanish, and I'm always gonna say, like, I'm gonna learn Spanish so I could read that entire magazine. I'm still learning Spanish, y'all. It's it's been a challenge. And I remember her telling me, like, mija, I wish you can speak Spanish so you can talk to me, like, all in Spanish. She used to tell me that because she would see, like, other abuelas talk to their granddaughters, and she's like, I want that. And this woman, she helped me, like, find myself. She had such a sense of humor, beautiful. I miss her cooking, the things that, she would make, her menudo, her tamales. Amazing. And I keep these things with me a lot. And I don't know if you want to show it in the... So there's one picture that she has in her wallet all the time. And now I have it, and she has a prayer in the back. And then the other one was for her funeral. And I cherish her, and that's a reason why I have one of my tattoos. I have a little butterfly tattoo because of her. Thank you. And she just really meant a lot to me. She was a pageant queen. She did do some photo shoots, and she was just somebody that I opened up to a lot during my middle school years to help find myself, because again, I had said earlier, I did not like the way I looked, and she helped me through that, and she helped me figure out, like, she made me feel beautiful, that was like the best reassurance. And just hearing her stories, and I do, like, it broke my heart, because there was something that she had told me that she told me that she didn't feel beautiful anymore because of her age, But then to me, it was like, you are the most beautiful woman ever to me, And it broke my heart hearing her say that. And she's still my biggest inspiration. And sometimes I wish that she was still here, to witness the things I've accomplished. She would have been, honestly, like, my number one fan. I mean, I have, shout out to my parents. They are my biggest fans, and my family and friends. But I would have loved to see this woman cheer me on to, like, just being in a music video, and just being in a short film and a movie. Like, that is something she would have been so, oh my gosh, she would have been so excited. And then seeing all these photo shoots, and I wish she was here to witness it, but I know that she is here. And yeah, like, she was honestly, like, my everything. She was my inspiration, just learning about her and her history. And one thing for sure is always remain humble. Know your background. Remember who got you here. Remember just where you're from, because I feel like people just get blindsided with so much attention, or like think that they have it all. But grounding yourself on, like, maybe how to help others, I think is very important, because there's going to be people in your life that you want around and are going to support you no matter what. And those are your biggest fans. That's it. You're welcome.